southwest zone that is not being used by the state chief executives, the commissioners, therefore, to harass anybody.
So that transition will be smooth in
Very
the southwest.
smooth, particularly in the southwest. We are lucky because we have tried it. It's a seamless transition.
And Shea Makinde is funding Amotekun well, your state.
Yes. And we can see the thing coming up. The farms are getting safer and things like that. By the time we transit to police, it will be an absolute one.
In that case, we'll be able to tackle banditry?
I'm telling you, it will reduce. Naturally, these guys who are not even Nigerian, they will just disappear and go back to where they came from.
Because they will be well armed?
They will be fully armed. They'll be fully armed. There is not this pump action they are carrying about. But even with that, they are scared. Now, if they are fully armed with AK-47 and things like that, then they have a match in our police.
Are we not having too much AK-47 in the system? Don't we need more of intelligence?
Yeah. You see, that's
because when I see them with this AK-47, I see war.
Absolutely.
I want to see them with pistols.
Yes.
Looking calmer.
Yes.
And more intelligent.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
You tackle the crime before it happens.
They even know it before it happens. So but it's happening too. Some of these crimes don't happen because the intel is there for them to know it's going to happen. So before it happens, they take the people out, which is better.
So we are getting to the point where the governor is truly the chief security officer of the state.
Yes. Luckily, the provision is there. So now they will be able to do it practically and frontally.
What do you think about, this is restructuring. So when we talk about restructuring, this is restructuring. You know what is going on? Let me tell you more. The proposed alterations promise a paradigm shift in policing. Notably, they advocate for the transfer of policing from the exclusive legislative list to the concurrent list, empowering states to exercise greater control over law enforcement within their territories. Moreover, stringent safeguards are envisaged to prevent undue interference by federal authorities in state policing matters, fostering collaboration and mutual respect. Crucially, the bill before the House of Representatives envisions the establishment of state police service commissions distinct from their federal counterparts, tasked with overseeing the affairs of state police forces. It also emphasizes the need for financial support from the federal government to ensure that state police have the resources necessary for effective operations. Now, this is one point that I am saying we need to adjust the resource allocation formula so that the state will not have to be running to the federal government for money. The federal government is collecting too much. It is time to reduce what the federal government gets from federal allocation. What do you think?
I support that. Definitely the federal will not just sit back and think that the allocation currently being made, it will be enough for the police, for the state to take care of the police, the state police. So there will be special allocation. I should think so. It will be part of the discussion. And our governors are smart. They will have taken that up even with at the initial meeting that they had. They agreed that the state police is now necessary. They got to do it. And special funds must be made available to get that.
Must it be a special fund, or we should go and amend the constitution again to say that the federal government cannot be taking about more than 50% of federal allocation?
Yes.
So that the state will have more money. Because governance, one of the reasons everybody is saying Tinubu, the federal government controls too much. Take some money. Money is power. Yeah. Distribute that money to the states. Then we will now be running a federal system that is powerful, where the state governor can look at the president and call his bluff.
That's right. The state governors are powerful, even with what they are getting. But they will be made more powerful because allocations to do so many things, because it's like devolving power. So when we devolve power, that means resource too.
Good.
Absolutely. You have to do that. And sources of, that's why they say some states are not viable. Who says? When the federal is taking all the oil on the ground of the state, and he's taking all the mineral resources away, and you say the state is poor, it's not viable, who tells you? Let him control the resources in the state. And you know that some states are very viable.
And that is why, as we are discussing federal police, we should be looking at the mining sector.
Absolutely, yes.
It should be pulled out of the
yes, please.
Exclusive
yes,
list.
Yes, please. And I know and I like what's happening in your state now. Let me tell you, you cannot just go and start your mining anything. You cannot. What happened in the Bodija is an eye opener. You cannot. No, before you just want to say, okay, maybe they got a license from Abuja. Somebody in Abuja sits in his office at Federal Ministry of Mines and whatever, and gives the license to somebody that did not even know. The guy will just come here with some police from Abuja and enter a place and start mining. Who says you can do that? You can't do that anymore. Even now, you can't do that. Because everybody has woken up to know that these mineral resources actually belong to the state.
But they can do that because the federal government still has the right.
They can do that under the law, but they cannot do that without the governor knowing now. Before, they used to do that without the governor knowing. They would just go and do some deals with the local leaders, like our royal fathers, and that's it. And some people in the state that gets to know about what they're doing. But the truth about it now, if you try that, you are in trouble. The state governors know that they are in charge. Absolutely.
Join the discourse. Chief Funsho Abiri is on State Affairs. We are discussing restructuring, basically.
Yes. With
state police as the focus. We've also come to mining. So the number to call is 07069493000. 07014475770. So those are the studio lines. Let's hear from you. 07069493000 and 0701447.
Bill, I just want to get your attention with Makinde. We are doing some construction in Kota. And at the same time, I don't know if they have people who supervise the place. Most of the construction, they will cut some place, and at the same time, they will leave some place. I don't know, maybe governments are aware of that. Maybe ask them to remove all the whole plastics, or what do you call it, and put the new one. Apart from that, you've been talking about restructuring. Tinubu administration, our president, who said he's coming there to give us hope. He knew the people who steal Nigerians' money. What is paining me is nobody has ever given account of this is the person who stole Nigerian money, return the money or you go to jail. I've never seen it in this country. So where the restructuring is coming? Even himself, if his hand is clear, as soon as he got there, that is the first thing, you should get all the whole Nigerian resources back. But once your hand is not clear, you won't have the power to do anything. So where is the restructuring? Restructuring is from your mind, that it is clear. That is when you can have the power to do anything. You talk about when you travel. You talk about when you travel with your family. Now, you're back to Nigeria. How do you see the place? You can't compare it. And they will travel over there, see what is happening. I don't know, maybe they are starved over there. When they come there, they will be happy. At the end of the whole day, what is not good? Nothing is done.
Thank you.
So that's where I'm calling from.
Thank you for calling the radio station. Thank you. All right, Bosu, let's take another call. Hello, good morning. Hello. Are you there? All right. He raised a fundamental point, Chief Abiri.
Yes.
The restructuring of the mind. That is crucial.
Yes.
Because the state police will be manned by Nigerians who mindset leads to underdevelopment. So you will need mind reformation. Otherwise, the state police end up becoming the federal police, the same character.
You see, the kind of police.
Hello, good morning.
Sorry about that.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
This Prince Bumi Adefusi calling from Apata.
The ball is in your court, Prince Adefusi.
Yes, sir. You see, the solutions to the management of insecurity in Nigeria is to allow state police to come fully on board, and federal government should act fast on it if he wants prosperity of Nigeria. Yes, we can all see what some state governors are doing, especially Oyo, and they meet Rotimi Akeredolu, the roles they play to have Amoteku, and they always equip them, giving them their entitlement as at Wendy. Because by the time we have state police, some state governments who refuse to pay the entitlement of this agency as at Wendy, with the corps that is coming on board, which turns to the enemies of the state. Because we need to urge and to charge some state government to rise up to their occasions, to their responsibility by paying them as at one due. Lastly, federal government must ensure that these corps have good training hands from professionals, and federal government should stop allowing repentance or bandits or terrorists to join our force, because these people are turning to the saboteurs in the system. That is why we find it difficult to come out of issue of insecurity that is ravaging our land. State police is the solution. That is why I keep commending some governors who are doing the needful, the likes of Shilima Kidi and the rest. Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you for calling the radio station. All right, Chief Abiri, the mind.
The mind. Mindset is very, very fundamental. They need to change the mindset. All of us, let's say, have to change our mindset. And for the officers and men of the state police particularly, is a new dawn entirely. So that's why the training, not only training in intelligence, it has to be part of behavioral studies, sort of special behavioral studies. The rules of engagement of officers and an average citizen of the state, the engagement will be special. When you come from the position of love and a friend, we always telling our police are a friend. Ideally, they should be a friend. And you should also be the friend of the police. When we know that policeman is my policeman, the policeman I'm looking at now, that is doing his duty, is my policeman. Everything he's doing is in my interest, and he has my interest. So the truth about, once that mindset of love is there, it solves it all.
I'm also looking at a well-entrenched mind rebuilding system through our education system.
Yes.
And I was looking at China and Japan's education system. If you see what they do with primary education, that is where they build
them. It's better to start at that level.
If you see what they do to the minds of the children, China cannot fall. They build them in such a way that by the time they are 10 years, they are Japanese.
Absolutely.
They are filled with the Japanese spirit.
Absolutely.
And the Japanese spirit is love. They love the country, they become innovative.
That's right. They love themselves too.
We need that kind of system. Don't you think so?
Yeah. Not people that call Nigeria a zoo. When you know that your country is your country, you start from there.
But what if Nigeria is a zoo?
But Nigeria is not a zoo, because we live in Nigeria, and I'm not an animal. Animals in zoos.
But it's a poetic term. It is poetry.
Let me tell you one thing. It starts from, English is not our language. When we say zoo, we know the meaning of zoo. This is not zoo. I mean, that's where we start from. even somebody like you, we still need to to reset your thinking. Because it's thinking. It's what comes to your brain. If you look at somebody and the guy looks like animal to you, then you are the one that has problem. You are the real animal. Because you cannot be looking at an human being and the guy suddenly is going some horns and that kind of thing, and you think he's an animal. Oh wow, you got a problem, psychological problem.
But what about when you see police and army trashing people on the road, caning them as if they are animals?
That's got to stop. That
is where the zoo definition is coming from. It's not the cage. We're just looking at the cage.
It's a madman. It's not an animal. The man has problem. The person where did he even get the cane from?
When just imagine a special advisor steals $20 billion.
That's madness.
Is that a person not an animal?
It's madness. It's not an animal.
Is madness not worse than animal?
No, let me tell you one thing. If somebody is mad, you can take him. Some of them needs to go to psychiatric hospital.
And you chain them like in animals in a zoo.
No, you don't even chain animal in a zoo. Have you been to zoo before? If you have been to, how many animals are chained in the zoo? That is their natural abode. Yes, they are contained because they can behave abnormal. And an abnormal man is a madman. It's not an animal.
So the fact is that Nigeria is not a zoo.
It's not a zoo, not at all. Anybody that says that, just look at the power and walk away. I won't even engage.
But some leaders behave like animals.
They behave like mad people. They are mad people. If you steal $1 billion, is that not madness? That's not animalistic. Even animals will steal 1 billion. Animal will finish it and will live quietly.
Areoye called them buffoons in his book Black Man's Dilemma.
Oh yeah, that's talking literature.
Redemption must come.
That's to come. It must come.
And it's the responsibility of all.
All of us we have to change our mindset. We love our country, we love ourselves. You say, policeman, this is my policeman. You're happy. Let me tell you, in the US particularly, if you walk, you see children, they love seeing you, because it's not like Nigeria where you see uniform people all over the place. When they see a well-dressed police officer or a security personnel, they know. You'll be seen, they'll be happy. When they get to the side of police, thank you, sir. Thank you for what you are doing. Because they have been told that these are the people that provide the security for all of us. You see children appreciating them. Be so nice to them. And some of these guys, maybe they are on a mission, they're going somewhere, you just see them acknowledging the cheers. That's as going to be. That's going to be.
Chief Funsho Abiri, yes, thank you for featuring on State Affairs.
Thank you very much for having me.
Chief Funsho Abiri is a public analyst. He is the co-founder or special partners of Tinubu Sport. He's also the president, Nigeria USA Export and Investment Group. The program is State Affairs on Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. Stay with the radio, man. More to come. Splash 105.5 FM.
To also in this hub, because this hub is a significant development in Nigeria today. We keep talking about agri transformation, and what we've been teaching our pastoralists, our small dairy farmers, our commercial farmers is stay in one hub. Let's have a dairy village where we can collect milk, train you, have an extension activity going on, and also develop pasture and all that to ensure that Nunu yogurt and Peak yogurts today. But there's going to be our feeding lots where we'll have a lot of feeds for our farmers. We also do a lot of trainings. I have some of my colleagues here. We have the manager of this farm is a consultant from Kenya, and that tells you the kind of partnership. We also bring in knowledge from the East Africa, our African brothers, to also support this project for us to have proper pasture and also develop the cows that we have, improve the variety. So here in this hub, we are sitting on about 300 hectares of land with in partnership with the Oyo State government, OSDA, and we intend, on which we are already doing, we will have a lot of pastures, Bricaria from South Africa. Today we also have partnership with Urus, Barenbrug, and Agrifem. The pasture seed that you've seen, hybrid seed, very nutritious, is from those places. And this is part of what you've seen here. I'm sure the farm manager, Mr. Isaac, will tell you more about all this pasture field that we have. We have Chloris, we have Bricaria, and a whole lot of this. And we are demonstrating what we need to do in Nigeria. We have feed, we must have proper feed. We have rice supplement and also improve our animals for us to have enough milk, local for local in the country. And Friesland Campina is leading in that route. And interesting, this hub is going to be one of the best because a lot of commercial farmers, you will see Milking Ban. Milking Ban is part of us, is one of our commercial farmers trying to have about 1,000 cows. These are examples of what we are saying. We all bring in small dairy farmers, commercial farmers in this hub. And interestingly, Barenbrug from South Africa will join this project to support us. We also have Agrifem from the Netherlands. They will also support this project in coming days. And then Urus from America, one of the biggest genetic companies in the world, from United States of America. They are bringing in their semen, and also we start training farmers. And interestingly, I would say Bill Gates Foundation is interested in the hub. So we will have, because we have our very powerful Oyo State existence here, we will have Bill Gates Foundation supporting a project where we will have 50 smallholder dairy farmers in Oyo State. Not just pastoralists. We will also train another 10,000. But where we are able to collect milk from a farmer that will do about 20 liters per cow. Today, our local cows do 1 to 2 liters. So these are examples of what we are trying to do. So we'll bring them in this hub. You will see in the next couple of months, and there will be a lot of activities in this hub. We hope to take over this hub fully as a dairy hub, where you will be able to collect fresh milk day in, day out. And we also train young graduates in veterinary, in animal science, and also food technology to process the milk. That's what's going to happen in this hub. Looking to improve those cows from 1 to liters to about 20 liters.
How do you intend to do that?
We will do crossbreeding program. I just talked about Urus. Urus is one of our partners supporting crossbreeding in Nigeria. We already started something some few years ago, and we have results already. Last year we inseminated about 610 animals, local cows, and today we have Girolando. If you go to Brazil, you will see Brazil was like Nigeria. We want to see that the milk start flowing first when it comes to the new genetics that we're trying to do. But this hub, it's going to have a lot of this in here. And we'll bring in more farmers to do a lot of crossbreeding projects. And we'll also train artificial inseminators. So a lot of youth will get employed via that program. And they become artificial inseminators. You'll see people start selling feed when they learn from here. And other people start breeding animals. And
Hello. The radio man is here. Oh, one of my guests is saying the roads are blocked. Can I join you? Yes, the roads are blocked. You see, I came into the studio late. I think there's a marathon going on. Yes, there is. Yes, we were held up a challenge for more than 15 minutes. So people are, my guest cannot be here. He said the roads are blocked. All right. No wala. Virtually, am I ready for a virtual interview? I'll call her. I needed a female voice in the studio. Oh, I'm pained. I might bring her next Thursday. I'll call. I just saw her message now. Yes, are you on X? X me. Let's go, X me. Let me see. Okay, I can see somebody has retweeted saying, in case you want to know where I'm always at, every Saturday between 8 and 11 a.m. I am in class. And he retweeted the class. Thank you, King. King, let me follow you now. I like that tweet. Thank you, King. King, don't miss the next class. Make sure you're always present in class. Because I'm following you now, so I'll be looking for you all the time. Yes, King said, that is it, guys. Nigeria is not a zoo. Nigeria is a country where mad and mentally unstable people lead sane ones. You see, when your leaders are insane, if that's what you are saying, the majority of the people will also be insane. Take note. When the leadership is insane, majority of the people will become insane. They will behave like their leaders. That is why leadership must be exemplary. And you can see Nigerians behave like their leaders too. The way we are talking about 1 billion now, if you give many Nigerians that opportunity, they will still central bank with the way we are going. Soon the central bank will disappear. The central bank will disappear. Who is retweeting? I'm on X. Let me see you on X. Come on X, let me see you. And who is following? Can you follow the radio, man? I need you to follow me. I need you. As you can see on my pages, I have launched a massive campaign on using history to educate the people. Telling stories, taking us back into time. Have you listened to the Professor John Ayuade interview? Go on my TikTok account. You have part 1 to 12. And listen to that detailed interview talking about Babangida, Abacha, and Obasanjo. Those were the 3 leaders we covered. And John Ayuade delivered a lecture entitled Political Lies and Lying to the Nigerian Public. So it was that lecture that we discussed in that class. I have part 6 on Instagram. I have up to part 3 on Facebook. But TikTok has the complete version. From tomorrow, we'll start the X campaign. And you will listen to John Ayuade on X. At the moment, it is the Femi Kehinde story that I am telling on X. And it's about the book Samuel Ladoke Akintola, In the Eyes of History. You can see the book. Femi Kehinde is the author of this book, and we are discussing this book on X. We have part 6 of that interview on X. Listen to the interviews, and if you are interested in the books, you have the numbers there. And you have my WhatsApp number to call. Let me tell you why you should read Femi Kehinde's book. It's important you read the book. And I told the story of the book on X, on Facebook. Samuel Ladoke Akintola, In the Eyes of History, a biography and postscript. That is the book of the day. You can see it. If you are watching, I'm showing you the book. Delve into the gripping story of Samuel Ladoke Akintola, a towering figure in Nigerian politics in this vivid and comprehensive biography. The book looks at SLA from his humble beginnings to his tragic end. The book paints a rich portrait of Akintola's complex life, his political journey, and his intricate relationship with Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Explore the dynamic political landscape of Nigeria as Akintola navigates the corridors of power, grappling with his own principles and the allure of populism. From triumphs to tribulations, Akintola emerges as both a hero and a victim of his convictions, shaping the course of history in the process. Whether you are a history enthusiast, a political student, or simply a lover of compelling narratives, this book offers a fascinating glimpse into the life of one of Nigeria's most enigmatic figures. Get the book on udarabooks.com. Visit udarabooks.com and you get your copy, or you contact me on 080 18449, 080 18449. Contact me on WhatsApp. We started this discourse by talking about looted funds in Nigeria. And we suspect that if some of the amounts are recovered, they will be relooted again. That is why you should read this book, written by Professor Pat Utomi. It is entitled Why North? Citizenship, State Capture, Creeping Fascism, and Criminal Hijack of Politics in Nigeria. You see, I love these words. Criminal hijack of politics in Nigeria. While I was away, while I was broadcasting from the top of the mountain, somewhere in Africa, I did an analysis of the term political vagabond as defined by B.C. Akonde. You see, Pat Utomi, in this book, critically examines criminally hijacked politics of Nigeria. How billions are being used to control the political system. The reason, no matter how hard we try, because the political system is managed by criminally minded individuals, the state becomes a criminal entity. And you can see the billions being stolen. Those billions are also used to manage the political system. Those billions are also used to hijack the courts, to hijack INEC, to hijack the police, to hijack the army. So state institutions are now in the pockets of political hijackers. State institutions that ordinarily should protect the citizens are now protecting the criminally minded political class. That is not to say that there are not some visionary members of the political class. There are. I can see some of them trying their best, despite the odds, to instill some form of visionary leadership. So this book, Why Not, by Pat Utomi, is a must-read for those who want to understand citizenship, state capture, how the Nigerian states have been captured, and now how our political system has become a fascist system where you have political overlords who control criminals. Criminals in the form of those who manage parks, smugglers, assassins. It is a criminal enterprise. And when the leadership is a criminal enterprise, development will not occur. Because any form of development will be based on criminal intentions. They construct 10 kilometers of road for 10 billion when it ought to be 50 million. Yes, they've constructed the road, but they have destroyed the economy by stealing more than 90% of what was budgeted for the construction. So you have the roads. In the next 3 years, the road is broken. It will not be maintained, because as you construct the road, you should budget money for maintenance every year. The hospitals will fail. They will build new buildings. Oh, this is a new construction. They will launch it. Go back to that building in 5 years, it has collapsed. There's no maintenance. It is because it is the work of criminally minded leadership. The lines are open. So I've recommended 2 books to you. Call the radio station. Let's go on Facebook and see. Bosun, I want us to listen to some of the consequences of bad leadership. And you will see it as it affects our educational institutions. Bosun, let's play Professor Segun Adedeji. I want us to listen to that professor of education. Here he talks about challenges facing higher education in Nigeria. Professor Segun Adedeji recently delivered his inaugural lecture entitled The Nigerian Higher Education System, the Twin Problems of Inadequate Funding and Graduate Employability. This lecture was delivered in 2023. Let's listen to this part of the lecture.
Nigerian higher education system is currently inundated with many challenges, such as infrastructural dilapidation, inadequate funding, acute shortage of academic staff, strike action, corruption, brain drain, poor quality and relevance of output, and the disastrous effect of graduate employability, poor and unconducive environment for teacher and teaching that could not inspire efforts to embark on groundbreaking research, weak administration, insecurity, as well as leadership crisis and succession tussle. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, of all these problems confronting the higher education institution in Nigeria, none is more agonizing and pervasive as the twin problem of inadequate funding and the pandemic of graduate employability.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Yes, that is the voice of Professor Segun Olugbenga Adedeji of the University of Ibadan, delivering his inaugural lecture, The Nigerian Higher Education System, the Twin Problems of Inadequate Funding and Graduate Employability. I want us to listen to another part of Professor Adedeji's speech. Here, he is looking at the poor condition of lecturers. Professor Segun Adedeji tells us what lecturers are going through. It is part of the effect of criminally organized politics.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, public universities in Nigeria are grossly understaffed. Hiring new staff to fill existing vacancies has become very difficult. Many university lecturers have retired. Some have resigned, while some others also, unfortunately, died and have not been replaced. This has created a very huge burden on the existing. Some of our colleagues still combine all this heavy load with their engagement in the distance learning program. It is difficult to imagine how lecturers cope in this type of situation. In fact, one wonders if there could be any meaningful, groundbreaking research that can ever take place in this type of environment. With all this increasing responsibility, what lecturer earn as salary in the present economic condition is nothing but a humiliating take-home pay. There was a time when ASU said that my take-home pay cannot take me home. I doubt if lecturer take-home pay today can even fill their tanks. Lecturer salaries under the current economic situation have suddenly become salary. Technical evidence has consistently shown that school quality can be raised by improving the condition of teachers and teaching. Adedeji and Olaniyan, 2011. However, without making another Warsaw, implicitly an increased financial allocation to education as a far
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
You can see the effect of poor governance. Professor Segun Olugbenga Adedeji, in that inaugural lecture, highlights the pain of the Nigerian lecturer. As I weep for Nigeria, I wonder the state Nigeria will be in 20 years to come, judging from the past 20 years. Stop weeping. Stop weeping. Arise and shine. Otumba Olakpoju Badamosi, good morning. Bolomokpe Hamzat says Nigerians are not ready for meaningful development. When our leaders are developing themselves, the radio man, please continue to remind them, Bolomokpe Hamzat, are you ready for development? You are a Nigerian. Okoro Donchuks Izundu says Imo State is one of the dead states in Nigeria. No development. Can a state be dead when there is a governor? There is hope Uzodinma there. Okoro, are you saying there is no hope in Hope Uzodinma State? Remember, abuse, they say that song. Bosun. It's on WhatsApp. I can send it to your WhatsApp and you download it. Yes. Derek, let's see. I want to play your songs today. I'll use it to sign out. So Derek says, remember my single I sent you, Ojoro? Abuse, they say, is inevitable when the purpose of a thing is not known. For these politicians, no past success stories on a business they have started, developed, and succeeded. You know, some of them have done good businesses, oh. Some of them have been thorough professionals. So when we are making the statement, we should not be too categorical. Somebody like Peter Obi have done businesses. Sheyi Makinde ran a successful oil company. Babatunde Raji Fashola was a lawyer. So some of them were professionals. Some of them were in the civil service. So let's not be too categorical. Okay? Yes, I needed to make that point. Derek says these are pea-brained, the kind of terms they are using here. Pea-brained politicians with minuscule intelligence for hyper-partisan processing of issues. The character is alien to humanity. Oluwa change them for them and shake their legs. Oluwa will not do anything, no. Let's leave Oluwa out of this matter. Oluwa will not change anything. We are the one to change it. Just leave Oluwa out of this matter. Okay? Where's Oluwa self? Yeah. We don't call him, nothing don't change. We are not learning. Oluwa don't blank us. You're on your own. Oluwa is in your mind. Leave Oluwa somewhere. Let's not. It is your mind. The actions of the people is in their mind. They will call on their gods as a tool of praise and of hope and sometimes pretense. But it's the mind and actions of a people that define their land. Call Oluwa now. Let's fast for 100 days and see. Are the churches not increasing by the day? Are we not building more mosques? As we build them, we build more corrupt politicians. Have you asked why? What is wrong? The education system. Can't you see what the kind of preaching going on in the churches? You know, the society is engulfed. You know, can't you see what our fathers are saying? Even our father wants the wife of a president to be killed because she does not profess Islam. Should anybody die for not believing in anything? You have the right not to believe in anything. In fact, sometimes when you don't believe in any God, there's that burden that you have lifted out of yourself. You know, sometimes this belief in religion, sometimes it's a burden on its own. That's not to say you should not believe in what you want to believe. As far as it gives you hope, it is what you do with it that matters. I always tell people, if it were Jesus Christ, Chinese don't worship Jesus Christ now. They don't worship Jesus. It is their mind, their thinking. They've been endowed with the brain power to think. And they are solving their problems. They're solving their problems. Let your messages keep coming in. Are you retweeting? There's a book I have here, written by Paul Kenyon. It is entitled Dictator Land, The Men Who Stole Africa. The Men Who Stole Africa. Somebody said books are expensive. I said, try ignorance. Good books are expensive because it takes a lot of research, travels, resources to write a good book. I've been trying to publish one. I know what it's costing me. Look, I'm saying I will not publish until I visit some of the areas I will mention in my book. And I'm traveling. That is part of the cost of research. So when you judge a book based on just the book, you're wrong. A good book, sometimes it takes you 10 years to write a good book. Especially when you are researching. You are paying the editor. You know, a book is not written by one person. People are reading. Telling you, okay, Edmond, can you look at this line again? Can you remove this? You are giving it to a lawyer so that you don't write anything libelous against anybody. You know, your lawyer is looking at it. You are paying your lawyer if you want to write a good book. I have brought a good book to you, one of the best books you can read, written by Paul Kenyon, The Men Who Stole Africa. If you don't have this book in your shelf, try and get it. Who are the men who stole Africa? There are many African countries. Political leaders. If you read this book, let me tell you about this book. I need to tell you about it because I want you to read this book. The Men Who Stole Africa. They are still around. Their children are still around. Their wives are still around. Are you ready to uncover the gripping truths hidden behind the curtains of power? Then read this book. Walk into the reverting pages of Dictator Land, The Men Who Stole Africa by Paul Kenyon. A compelling journey that exposes the dark underbelly of African politics and the men who wielded unchecked authority. In this meticulously researched masterpiece, I call the book a masterpiece, Kenyon unveils the staggering tales of corruption, greed, and tyranny that have plagued the continent of Africa for decades. From the lavish lifestyles of ruthless dictators to the harrowing struggles of oppressed citizens, The book Dictatorland delves deep into the heart of Africa's bad, harrowing history, offering a stark portrayal of power run amok. He wrote about Nigeria. The book is a call to action, a rallying cry for justice and accountability. You see, as you turn each page, you will be confronted with the stark realities of Africa. As you go through the pages, you begin to cringe, to say, why? Why Africa? What is going on? You will be confronted with the stark realities of unchecked power and the devastating consequences it inflicts on societies. You will feel the anguish of those who have suffered under the iron grip of tyranny and the burning desire for change that pulses within every oppressed mind. The book Dictatorland is a catalyst for transformation. By reading the book, you would gain a profound understanding of the forces that have shaped Africa's turbulent past and continue to shape its future. But you will be inspired to stand up against injustice, to demand transparency and integrity from those in power, and to work tirelessly towards a brighter tomorrow for all. But I'm telling you, don't. Those who refuse to accept the status quo, and those who refused to let history repeat itself. Let Dictatorland be your guide as you embark on a quest for truth, justice, and lasting change. Get your copy of Dictatorland, The Men Who Stole Africa Today, and embark on a journey that will challenge your perceptions, ignite your passions, and inspire you to be the change you wish to see in the world. The future of Africa and indeed the world depends on it. Get the book on udarabooks.com, udarabooks.com, or you can contact me on WhatsApp 080 999 18449, 080 999 18449. Talking about Africa, Professor Patrick Lumumba talks about Africa. Who do we blame? Let's listen to this African professor saying, Africa, blame yourself. Africa, blame yourself.
You know, this mother continent, this continent that remains in the stage in which it remains, is a continent that continues to suffer even because of external factors. High Commissioners, we deserve to blame them because our political true north appears to be the United Kingdom. That's where when we have our presidents and they want to contest elections in Africa, they go to Chatham so that their masters can listen to them and say, it's okay. So we can blame the British and they deserve to be blamed. We deserve to blame the sellers. Then they say, très bien. And then we know that you come back home and you are simply a manager of a plantation. And if you had any doubt about that, just see what is happening in Niger when the French president says, I will not. Of Africa has tried, and there is no shortage of individuals who have tried to link democracy and development.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Splash FM 105.5.
like to say thank you to Oyo State for allowing us to stay in this, and we're working with about 13,000 farmers across each region from the north, south, and west of Oyo State. But today we are also in this hub because this hub is a significant development in Nigeria today. We keep talking about agri transformation. And what we've been teaching our pastoralists, our small dairy farmers, our commercial farmers is stay in one hub. Let's have a dairy village where we can collect milk, train you, have an extensive extension activity going on, and also develop pasture and all that to ensure that we have wholesome milk that we use as Friesland in our peak and evaporated milk, and also Nunu yogurts and peak yogurts today. But there's going to be our feeding lots where we'll have a lot of feeds for our farmers. We also do a lot of trainings. I have some of my colleagues here. We have the manager of this farm is a consultant from Kenya, and that tells you the kind of partnership. We also bring in knowledge from the East Africa, our African brothers, to also support this project for us to have proper pasture and also develop the cows that we have, improve the variety. So here in this hub, we are sitting on about 300 hectares of land with in partnership with the Oyo State government, OSDA, and we intend, and which we are already doing, is from those places. And this is part of what you've seen here. I'm from criteria and a whole lot of this, and we are demonstrating what we need to do in Nigeria. We have feed, we must have proper feed. We have rice supplement and also improve our animals for us to have enough milk, local for local in the country. And Friesland Campina is leading in that route. And interesting, this hub is going to be one of the best because a lot of Africa will join this project, genetic company in the world, from United States of America. They are bringing in their semen, and also we start trading farmers. And interestingly, I would say Bill Gates Foundation is interested in the hub. So we will have, because we have our very powerful Oyo State existence here, we will have Bill Gates Foundation supporting a project where we will have 50 smallholder dairy farmers in Oyo State. Not just pastoralists. We will also train another 10,000, but where we are able to collect milk from a farmer. So we'll bring them in animal science and also food technologies to process the milk. That's what's going to happen in this hub. Looking to improve those cows from 1 2 liters to about 20 liters.
How do you intend to do that?
We will do crossbreeding program. I just talked about Urus. Urus is one of our partners supporting crossbreeding in Nigeria. We already started something some few years ago, and we have results already. Last year we inseminated about 610 animals, local cows, and today we have Gerolando. If you go to Brazil, you will see Brazil was like Nigeria many years back, but today you will see milk. Brazil is not exporter of raw milk to other countries, and that's an example of what we are trying to do here.
5.5 FM, the integrity station. But so let's pick some calls. Yes, my guest cannot make it to the studio. I'm supposed to have a guest, a hot session. So the roads are blocked, but that's fine. That's fine. I'll call her later. So 070694 93000 and 07014475 770. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Your name and where you are calling from?
My name is Paul from Adeoyo, Ibadan.
Mr. Paul, the ball is in your court. Kick it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, thank you that you start with the leaders of the Nigerian economy in the man. Is the looting going to stop? The answer is no. Are they going to recover the money? The answer is no. But they are going to root their own part of the cake. You know, last week you mentioned the book, The Congo, the epic history of a people. I've tried to go through it. And the corruption that pervaded in that time is still here now. So as it is in the old faraway Congo then, so it is now. So I don't know if there is hope for in these generations, because the hope is too far away from reality, from truth. So because in that book of the Congo, the governor of the land, the industry, the head of the industry, and the church, all of them, they sit down how they will how they will put the people under them. And that is what we have today. If you talk about the government is telling lies. If you talk about the industry, they are not people-oriented. And even where you ought to have the truth, the church, the mosque, all is about telling the people lies. In one of the national dailies today, I won't mention the name of the church. They just finished their crusade in River State, where the general overseer is praising the Fubara administration for making peace and stability in the land. Whereas the people are hungry, home has been destroyed, husband and wife, they have scattered, the children, all these things. But we keep telling the people lies. And even the people, even when you try to tell them that this is the truth, they still fight you. As I read that place, I read it to my wife this morning. She was still even supporting, defending the cleric. I just laughed. So you see, one thing, let me wrap up with this. Sometimes I said it's that God will bless your ancestors. Why did I say that? My forefathers, my father, all of them die in ignorance. But at least if I'm living this world today, I will live with peace of mind that this is not the way it ought to be from God. So thank you very much for the good work you are doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for calling the radio station. He just mentioned the book. I've been saying I want to review the book. It is entitled Congo, The Epic History of a People. There's a story I want to tell about the Congo. When I tell that story, then I will review this book. I have the book here. How many pages? The book is about, 639 pages. Congo, The Epic History of a People, written by David Van Raybroek. You'll find this in udarabooks.com. I will tell you the story of the Congo, then I will review this book. Classic. And these books are selected books. I brought them in while I was coming. Yes, like this book now is about 20,000. Yes. The dollar rate, by the time you convert it to Naira, it's crazy. So it's even going with no profit. No profit. Just read the book. Just read the book. Nobody's talking about profit. I just want you to read the book. Now, the second and final phase of system upgrade in Splash FM and Lagelu. Splash FM and Lagelu 96.7 FM crave your indulgence. Be patient with us. The second and final system upgrading will necessitate a 6-hour off-air period on Sunday, the 3rd of March, 2024, between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. We appreciate you for your usual cooperation. So tomorrow, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., Splash FM and Lagelu FM will be off air. We are upgrading our systems. And that is the final phase. So when you don't hear us tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., just know we are upgrading the systems. Thank you for always being there. You are a star. I'm on X. We have not retweeted enough today. We just have 79 retweets of the stream. Can we pull it up? Can we retweet? I want this stream to get to more numbers. Last week, it got to more numbers. And the feedback were beautiful. So are you on X? Come on Edmondo Billow's page on X. Retweet the stream. Let's take the message. And we also have the story of Akintola, as told by Femi Kende. You'll find part 1 to 6 on X. You can also retweet. And leave your comment on X. Let me see what you're saying on X. I can see Monija. He says the book, The Man Who Stole Africa, is with me. I'm reading it right now. I can see. Good. Good. Monija, I think perhaps I should invite you so that we analyze the book together. Monija, I hope I will remember. Let me send him a message. After reading this book, we'll talk about it. I want to be discussing books. I will invite you to State Affairs Studio. Let's discuss what you have read so that we can take the message further. You know? And when you're so keen, you have something to say, you can send me a message. You can inbox me that you want to feature on State Affairs. I will ask you some questions though. And then we are good. I'll grant you the opportunity, put it online, express yourself. You know, but it must be solid expression. Young persons, I want to interview you. Yes, I'm more interested in you. So you can send me messages, but it must be a quality interview. And you should be ready to answer my question. Say, Radio Man, you are not talking about Nigeria Air. Nigeria, how many things I want to talk about? Nigeria Air? That was another fraud on his own. So we'll keep talking about fraud, and sometimes it can be discouraging. I can't talk about everything. So I've also focused my attention on certain subjects. Okay? Oluwaseun Oduton says, Radio Man, good morning. Thank you for the compliment. Thank you. This is coming from Abiona Samuel on X. Radio Man, those people are not ready to make Nigeria what it's supposed to be. Are you ready to make it what it is supposed to be? That's a question. If some people are destroying your country, what are you doing to save yourself? Are you just resting there? What are your plans? What are you plotting? Just sit down. Just nothing. Man, no, do something. No? Make some plans. You know, and when you plan, you know you can attain leadership. These guys, they also plan. You know how many years Tinubu has been planning? Let's plan. You can't say you want to. You see, we need power to change the system. Somebody called me early this morning around 4. Was complaining, the agri sector, this. I said, Mother, are you there? I said, I'm here. I said, I heard everything you're talking about. I said, you need power to make... I said, your ideas are powerful ideas. I said, are you thinking of how you want to get power to go and implement those ideas? He said, Okay. I said, so what are you thinking? Okay. These guys will not implement it for you. You never see anything. If you want change, be thinking. You don't necessarily need to be governor. There are different sectors. You can say, okay, how do I come in as a businessman? You know, as a businessman, you can change a sector. You know, once you are a billionaire, you are as influential as a governor. Yes. Once you are a billionaire, you are also as influential as a governor. You can see billionaires are making governors. People like Emeka Ofo in Anambra State, now they were making governors. Tinubu was sitting down in his house and making governors in Lagos. It's not just because there was money. And it can also not be money, it can be knowledge. You can be a deep philosopher. It's not just about money. You can say, I want to be a great philosopher and use your ideas to change the world. Today we study Plato, Socrates. We talk about Bafemi Awolowo, Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Nyerere. These are political philosophers. You can use your ideas. People like Patrick Lumumba. It's not just about money. You can be a photographer. Have you not studied Michelangelo? You can be just a photographer. And you use your pictures to change the world. You can be a videographer. People tend to understand what they do. I've always had the belief that I can use radio to change the world. And that was why I came on radio. It was deliberate. I sat down after university and said, okay, what do you want? Is it money or redemption? I said, I want redemption. My other friends went to chase money, and I went for redemption. From redemption, we will move to prosperity. So what do you want? That's the point I'm making. Yes. How is the governor? Have you seen the governor? Bosun, have you seen the governor? How is Governor Shea Makinde? Who has seen the governor? Is the governor fine? I've not seen the governor. Yes. I've not heard from the governor. I should believe the governor is fine. Hello, Mr. Governor. Let's go back to 2023, after you won the election. And I made the point after Shea Makinde won, saying that one of the striking features of Shea Makinde is the courage to stand on his ideals and the courage to learn how to check those bent on the politics of the past as a way into the future. I made that analysis from the private talks I've had with him. And that is what, when I use the term, the science of Shea Makinde's politics. In those discussions, I found that he has the civil courage required to redefine society. So Shea Makinde should now go ahead to transmit such courage into the people of Oyo State. Because it is from the transmission of the courage that development will occur. That is when you now say the leader is influential. He is positively affecting the minds of the people. He said he will create the agencies for the transmission of that courage. And hopefully he will sign the laws, the bills into law soon. And the mind game will start. The point I make is that if Shea Makinde is able to transmit a visionary courage into the people will reciprocate by using his development efforts to reshape their future. That's how development occurs. Our leaders are not capable of transmitting positive spirit into the people. That is why leadership, that's why progress is stunted. It is the people that really drive development. What is the point? It is about Shea Makinde's courage becoming a factor in the people's march to an innovative future. It is a time when the thoughts of their minds and the works of their hands lead to a greater productivity and wealth for the land. The minds of many Nigerians and Oyo State citizens are redundant. What majority of people think is food, what to eat, what to drink. What most of the people are thinking is their belly. That is redundant thinking. And they have that excuse on the ground that there is hunger and poverty. But it is during hunger, poverty, and wars that the people should become more innovative. In the case of Africa, it's not happening that way. Because the leaders cannot transmit the visionary courage into the people. And Seyi Makinde has the capacity to do that from our discussions. Hello, Mr. Governor. Are you with me? Mr. Governor, at this time, Mr. Governor, you should become the determining influence on public life. I want to write about Seyi Makinde's redemption of the state. Mr. Governor, it's a task that we must accomplish. You've had the opportunity to govern, and it's an opportunity to launch a mind reformation for the growth of the people. Yes, we can. If Seyi Makinde did this, the people become free to pursue their happiness and defend themselves from marauders bent on inflicting pain and poverty on the land. You see, Nigerians cannot resist their oppressors because there is no visionary person to transmit visionary courage into them. They are weak. That's why they worship their oppressors. If you studied China, the different dynasties, the Ming, the Han dynasties, there was something always present. That is why the dynasties were collapsing at different times. They were always scholars, philosophers that could transmit positive energy into the people. And they were always rising, always rising, always rising to change themselves. It's also a call on the Oshudaris. Professor Oshudari. Bosun, let me hear Oshudari's voice. You know, the Oshudaris are the mind builders I'm talking about. But when a governor is a mind builder, it has more effect because it has political power. That's the analysis I'm giving. Let me hear from Baba Oshudari. He inspires me.
We are not poor people. We are impoverished people. Nigeria is one of the most beautiful countries in the world, one of the most well-endowed. I've been to this country, east, west, north, and south. There is nothing we don't have.
You know, now we talk about the poorest of the poor.
The poorest of the poor.
That's what government is taking care of now, not the poor.
Yes.
The poorest.
The poorest of the poor. They haven't even given us the demographics yet. But in the end, if they are going to arrive with any figures about the poorest of the poor, we will see that they are in millions. About half of our population are poorest of the poor, you know. So it really hits one very, very hard. We have no business being poor. I was telling my friend 2 days ago, there was a time when you went to Ikeja, I mean, from one place to another, industries, the industrial estate, they manufacture this here, they manufacture that, textile. Even in Ado Ekiti, our Ekiti there was Ado textile mills. People had work to do, and they were mandated to produce our uniforms. So they were constantly working. All of a sudden, those things disappeared. Now, we began to import what we already have. Rice was there, quite all right. Abakaliki, Igbema, and so on. What they now call the one you wrap in leaves, rice. Ofada, yes. We ate rice once a year, Christmas. And I pitied my mother. She would sit there to remove the stones. She would work and work and work. But it was the flavor I usually liked. And it was nutritious. And then Uncle Ben came from North Carolina, and our father, whatever local rights went into abeyance, you know. So foreigners create our appetite for us, appetite for foreign things. And our rulers cooperate with them because they get their 10%. Oh, must be about 15% now. Because if going to do that, you have to find a senator, find a governor, find somebody who will get his own. So we are ruled by people who are ready to sell this country down the river. And that is why things are like this. These are the things that tug at my heart all the time.
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Yes, this is a call to Shea Makinde. That's Professor Nii Oshudare, the great poet, the philosopher. He's a philosopher king. Nii Oshudare. Philosopher kings help to shape the people. They pour into the people the spirit of positivism, the visionary courage to rise and change their status. And I'm saying Shea Makinde should write his name as a philosopher king. Hello, Mr. Governor. I'm talking about Shea Makinde's statesmanship. The consolidation of Shea Makinde's statesmanship starts with his convincing victory in the March 2023 gubernatorial election in Oyo State. Now, how he exercises power to move Oyo State and Nigeria in the right direction is key to building an undying legacy. Mr. Governor, I have volunteered myself to help you build that legacy. Certain things must be done. You might not be able to achieve all, but it's about laying the framework, that template for visionary leadership. I know the challenges are enormous, but you must not derail. Shea has the opportunity through a process of adaptation to be strategically sensitive to nationhood. Mr. Governor, be a super example of inspiring leadership, and we must see it in the identity of the cities, in tourism, in education, in health. That solid framework. Makinde should look inward and go ahead to put the economy of Oyo State as a destination of choice. It is time to create new industrial and technological moods in Ibadan and save it from becoming a manufacturing and intellectual desert. Mr. Governor, we need to trigger intellectual activities in Ibadan. Ibadan is not heating up intellectually. There are research institutions, universities, publishing companies. Ibadan should be the home of international discourses on innovation, entertainment, technology. Ibadan should be the center of knowledge in Africa. A knowledge economy capable of generating billions of dollars for the development of the people. Yes. We need innovating stimulus for development. Shea Makinde should lead the aspiration of the people in this direction. It comes from the people's government knowing its place by providing the enabling environment for wealth creation. I mean, return for enterprise and spread of wealth to every part of society. It involves giving priority to public education, transportation, and health services. She can do better. It involves encouraging cooperation among the various segments of society, leading to social capital. Yes, we can. I dream of a self-confident and outward-looking society that Makinde can build. Makinde has proven he can rise above the insular, xenophobic, tribalistic, and suspicious society others instigate. So the time comes to bring the political goodwill and commitment and energies of many people of talent into politics and government. Who will Seyi Makinde prop up as the next governor? Who are those Seyi Makinde will prop up as members of the Oyo State House of Assembly? I am watching. That is why I say the time comes to bring the political goodwill and commitment and energies of many people of talent into politics and government. Our society for too long fits into the description of Yeats in his poem Second Coming, where he said, "The best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. Things fall apart, the center cannot hold." She cannot afford to renege on the ideals of Omitutu 2.0, his social contract with the people. This government must not be sluggish, uninventive, and resistant to voluntary change. She cannot afford to cling defensively to his ideals in the face of superior suggestions. It is time for redemptive change in society, politically, economically, and socially. I'm talking about change with much purpose and underlying effect. She has started it, and he should finish strong. Makinde has history on his side to be a model of great leadership. Seyi Makinde is my guy. The social contract he must keep. Let's listen to the governor. Before the 2023 election, we had this chart.
I've seen people drive against the traffic. Even severally, I will stop with my convoy and tell them to turn the people back, to go take the right path.
You don't arrest them.
No, it is actually not something that is peculiar to Oyo State. Try and drive, from Lagos towards Ibadan. By the time you get to Mowe, all the way to Redemption Camp, the road has been expanded, but you still see people driving against traffic,
Because there's no sanction.
If you on the airport road in Abuja, coming from the airport, I've seen people on that good luck Sheikh Musa Yaradua express road. I've seen people, Okada drive against traffic. It's a national
Is it that the people are behaving like their leaders?
No, it's a national menace. But let me say this. Under Omitutu 2.0, you will have an Oyo State where enforcement of the rule of law, will be given adequate attention.
I'm waiting.
Yes. You and I, privately, we've discussed this chaotic traffic situation, and I said, look, if you're in a hole, the first thing you need to do is to stop digging. We've stopped digging. People may, criticize the pace and all of that. But if you have to solve a problem and solve it in a way that it will endure, then there's no quick way around it. You have to put in all the hard work that is required. Look at the road from Gates all the way through the underpass at Onipepe, to pass through the airport and to Adigbai. We've expanded it, and then we cannot get the full benefit of it until we do the junction improvement at Gate itself.
When?
Well, the main road itself is being fixed. They've completed the underpass, and if you go from where we commissioned the airport road yesterday, you'll see that the hard work has actually moved from that place almost to the end of that road. So,
State Affairs with Edmondo Bilo is live.
Yes, that's Mr. Governor. With that governor's 2023 interview, we come to the end of today's edition of State Affairs. I am Edmondo Bilo. I worked with Bosun Alayande to bring you this edition of the program. And I can see Michael here. Michael, how are you?
I'm very good.
Yes, that's Michael. Michael is very good. Yes, when I'm not here, you hear Michael. Okay? Good. All right, Bosun, let's go home. Derek.